Welcome to the video lecture of solid waste management. This lecture is about disposal technologies used in the solid waste management, namely open dumping, sanitary landfilling. Also, this video explains the recycling of plastics, batteries, and electronic waste. Solid waste management deals with the collection, transport, processing, recycling, or disposal and monitoring of solid waste materials. It is a major problem for many urban local bodies in India, where urbanization, industrialization, and economic growth have resulted in increased solid waste generation. This impacts on the environment and public health. The challenges and barriers in solid waste management are significant, but so are the opportunities. There are a number of concepts about waste management which may vary in their usage between countries. Widely used concepts include waste hierarchy, 3 Rs, that is, reduce, reuse, and recycle, which classify waste management strategies according to their desirability in terms of waste minimization. The waste hierarchy remains the cornerstone of most waste minimization strategies since waste minimization has many advantages, namely reduced volume of waste, reduced cost of collection and disposal, longer life of disposal sites, and reduced environmental and health impacts. The most preferable is avoid and reuse, and the least preferable is disposal of waste. Waste disposal. The final stage of solid waste management is safe disposal, where associated risks are minimized. There are four main methods for the disposal of solid waste. The first one is dumping, the second one is sanitary landfilling, incineration, and composting. Dumping. Open dumps refer to the uncovered areas that are used to dump solid waste of all kinds. The waste is untreated and not segregated. It is a predominant method of waste disposal in leading countries, leading to illegal dumping problems, groundwater contamination, air pollution, and health hazards. Yet, it is a convenient and low cost method of waste disposal. In this image, you can see a open dump site. The next one is sanitary landfilling. A landfill is a final control measure of waste disposal. Sanitary landfill is a place where waste is allowed to decompose into biologically and chemically inert materials in a setting isolated from the environment. Waste can be safely deposited in a sanitary landfill, a disposal site that is carefully selected, designed, constructed, and operated to protect the environment and public health. Once solid waste is transported off-site, it is normally taken to a landfill site. The waste is placed in a large excavation in the ground, usually of 4 to 12 meters in depth, which is backfilled with excavated soil each day and waste is tipped. Ideally, about 0.5 meters of soil should cover the deposited refuse at the end of each day to prevent animals from digging up the waste and flies from breeding. Here you can see the two methods of constructing a sanitary landfill. The left one is trench method and the right one is area method. At sites where the excavation can be made below the earth level, the trench method of construction may be followed. Where this is not feasible because of topography or groundwater condition, the area method may be practiced, resulting in a hill rising above the original ground level. A highly contaminated liquid called leachate is another byproduct of decomposition in sanitary landfills. The most leachate is the result of runoff that infiltrates the waste and comes in contact with the decomposing garbage. If leachate reaches the groundwater or seeps out onto the ground surface, serious environmental pollution problems can occur, including the possible contamination of drinking water supplies. Methods of controlling leachate include the blockage of surface water in order to prevent it from entering the landfill and the use of impermeable liners or barriers between the waste and the groundwater. So new landfill sites should also be provided with groundwater monitoring wells and leachate collection and treatment systems. In this image, you can see a leachate collection system. Landfills will always play a major role in solid waste management. It is not possible to recycle all components of solid waste, and there will be residues from incineration and other treatment processes that will eventually require disposal underground. In addition, landfills can improve poor quality land. In some communities, properly completed landfills are converted into recreational parks, playgrounds, or golf courses. The next topic is recycling of plastics. Recycling is one of the most important actions currently available to reduce the impacts and represents one of the most dynamic areas in the plastic industry today. Recycling provides opportunities to reduce oil usage, carbon dioxide emissions, and quantities of waste requiring disposal. Recycling and reutilization of waste plastics have several advantages. One of them is it reduces environmental pollution. Recycling of plastics include four categories. The first one is primary, the second one is secondary, the third one is tertiary, and the last one is quaternary. Primary is the mechanical reprocessing of plastics into a product with the same properties. And secondary is the mechanical reprocessing into products requiring lower properties. And tertiary is the recovery of chemical constituents present in the plastics. And quaternary is the conversion of plastics into energy. Primary recycling is otherwise known as closed loop recycling, where recovered plastic is used to make new plastic product displacing the old resins. The best examples are plastic crates and bins manufactured from milk bottles and PET, that is polyethylene terephthalate fiber from recovered PET packaging. The next one is secondary recycling. Secondary recycling is otherwise known as downgrading. In this, the recovered plastic is an alternative to higher cost plastic. The best example is plastic lumber. Next one is tertiary recycling. Tertiary recycling is otherwise known as feedstock recycling, where petrochemicals are recovered and used to make other synthetic chemicals. The next topic is recycling of batteries. One of the challenges of battery recycling is that batteries are both so similar and so different to humans. As humans, batteries exist in all shapes, colors, and sizes. However, as opposed to humans, they often look very different within. To date, India does not have any specific regulations or guidelines around the effective disposal and recycling of lithium ion batteries. Spent batteries in the ecosystem, which, if left untreated, would lead to health and environmental hazards. So, why should batteries be recycled? They contain significant amounts of non renewable resources in the form of chemical elements, so there are laws making it mandatory. No recycling process can handle all types of batteries, so sorting is crucial in maintaining product quality. Once waste batteries have been sorted, several recycling processes happen. It includes mechanical pretreatment separation, hydrometallurgy, and pyrometallurgy process, which is employed in the industry to recycle all kinds of batteries. In pyrometallurgy process decomposes the components of the lithium ion batteries by heating to high temperatures under pressure. It has been associated with high air emissions of dioxins, chloride compounds, and mercury, and therefore requires strict standard for air filtration systems to avoid pollution. In hydrometallurgy, the scraps of the spent batteries were put in either acid or alkaline solution to dissolve the metallic fraction of the batteries to recover valuable components. Hydrometallurgy is used based on its simplicity, environment friendly due to wastewater and air emission minimization and adequate recovery of valuable metals with high purity and low energy requirements. Recycling of e-waste. Electronic waste is the disposal of the electronic products. It is concerned largely due to the toxicity and carcinogenicity of some of the substances if processed improperly. According to the Global E-Waste Monitor 2017, India generates about 2 million tons of e-waste annually and ranks 5th among e-waste producing countries after the US, China, Japan, and Germany. In 2016 to 17, India treated only 0.036 million tons of its e-waste. This picture shows the sources and outcomes of e-waste. The main sources are printed circuit boards, surface mounted components, casings, CRT monitors, batteries, wires, and precious metals. The major chemical components present in the e-waste are lead from the printed circuit boards, glass panels, and gaskets in computer monitors, and cadmium from chip resistors and semiconductors, and mercury from relays and switches, printed circuit boards, and chromium from steel, galvanized steel plates, decorator or hardener for steel housings. These compounds can cause serious health effects listed here. How to dispose the e-waste? So e-waste consists of diverse items like ferrous and non-ferrous metals, glass, plastics, electronic components, and other items. The potential treatment options based on this composition are encapsulation, incineration, and sanitary landfill. These are all the conventional methods used to treat any type of solid waste. So to conclude, properly engineered waste disposal protects public health and preserves environmental resources such as groundwater, soil fertility, and air quality. The transition from wastes to resources can only be achieved through investment in solid waste management, as this depends on a coordinated set of actions to develop markets and maximize recovery of reusable and recyclable materials. Thank you.